So I'm really excited to be with you today because I know that you guys have been studying forces and motion in science. Is that true?
Yes.
Awesome. And so I'm really excited to hear all the different kinds of things that you've been learning about and trying out maybe even some experiments around. And today we're going to do a different kind of writing about science. We're going to make some information books that are kind of like all about some of the things that you're learning. And I know that you've been thinking about some topics that might make for some nice topics that we've been kind of like thinking about, oh, what would be a great topic that we know a lot about, but that's also about movement. So have you been thinking about some great topics that you could teach other kids and other people about? Wonderful. So, okay, so I am going to pretend like I'm holding a magic ball. And I'm going to look at you, and then I'm going to toss you the magic ball. And when I toss it to you, you have to catch it and say what your topic is. Okay, you ready? Okay, here we go.
My topic is lacrosse.
What a great topic. Lacrosse. Is that about movement? Wow, you know a lot about a lacrosse? Great, because I know almost nothing about it. Let me toss.
My topic is swimming.
Toss it back, thank you. Movement? Yeah. For sure there's a lot of movement in swimming. That's a great topic. In the back?
Mm-hmm. My topic is soccer.
Toss it back, great. That's definitely about movement. One more.
My topic is soccer.
Great, 2 soccer ones. Okay, well I gotta get one more that's different than soccer. Someone's different than soccer.
Baseball.
Baseball, awesome. We've got a lot of sports because in sports you use a lot of movement for sure. These are going to be great topics. So one of the things that I want to teach you guys about writing information books is that it's really helpful before you do all of your writing to really have a clear plan to make sure that your book is going to be really organized and you know what you're going to say in each of your parts. That way, when you're writing your information book, not only will it be organized, but you kind of have a plan for how it will go. So can I teach you about how that might go? Okay, so one thing that I do is, well, I do a couple of things. I do like 3 things. Are you ready to hear them? One thing that I do is I kind of think about the parts of my book, so almost like tap them on my finger or tap them on my pages. And then I try to say a little bit about what I'm going to teach in that part. And I might write down a couple of words or even draw a couple of pictures so that I remember what it is that I'm going to teach. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do that with the topic. You ready for my topic? Cleaning. Cleaning, I know it's not a sport, but do you use movement to clean? Yes. You do. So I'm going to show you how I would plan my book about cleaning, and you can kind of help me think about how my book might go, okay? So I'm going to first think about what might be one part of my book. What would be one part about cleaning that I could write? Oh, you've got some ideas? Okay, so see if my idea matches yours. Maybe my first part could be about cleaning dishes in the kitchen. That's an important thing. So when I think about cleaning dishes, I think about, let me think about some information about that. Well, I would use, I have like a brush to clean some of the dishes to get the food off. And you know, like those bristles on the brush, which when you scrub the pan, it creates friction. Totally. So like I would want to like talk about cleaning the dishes and writing about friction. So I'm going to say dishes, cleaning the dishes. That would be what this part would be about. And let me make a sink just really quickly. I'm not the best artist. With the brush, right, that has the bristles. And then I might write friction just to remember that that's what I want to say on that page. But then I have to think about what my next part's going to be. Second part, what can I write about cleaning? Okay, so I just did dishes. I could do mopping the floor? Is that cleaning? For sure. So now I want to say a little bit about what I would teach about mopping the floor. Well, you have to push and you have to pull. That has to do with movement, and it also you have to do that a lot. So maybe I would draw a picture of my mop really quickly. There I am, sweating, pushing. I mean, it's hard. Mopping's not easy. Who thinks mopping's easy? No, it's really hard. I mean, it takes a lot of force. It takes a lot of force. So I'm going to remember force, and I'm going to remember push and pulling. And, I should write at the top.
Mopping.
You think that would be a good idea? Okay, mopping. So now I have 2 parts of my book planned. What could be the 3rd part of my book about cleaning? I could do, you have an idea for me? What did you think?
Dusting.
Dusting, I love it. It's a little bit different. Is that movement? Yes, but it's a very different kind of movement. So wait, I could have my 3rd chapter of my book could be dusting. Thank you for that help. That was really helpful. So I have 3 chapters. And did you see how in those chapters, I'm thinking about what I'm going to teach. I said a little bit about what would go in the chapter. And then I just kind of put a picture and some words to help me think about what I want to say so that when I write long and I write strong and I use everything that I know about writing information books, I can teach people a lot of information. Like my organized cleaning book? Think you will learn a lot from it? Maybe. Okay, great. So now let's try it with our own topics, like with swimming and soccer and baseball, whatever your topic was. Let's think about the different parts. Actually take out your fingers so I can tell how many chapters you're thinking about. And then don't just think about what the chapter will be, think about what actual information might you teach inside that chapter. Great. Some people have 4 chapters, 2, very nice. Think about 5 chapters, okay. Okay, so now let's turn to our partners, and let's one partner start, and then tell your partner your chapter and some information, and then go on to the next chapter and some information, and do a couple of chapters in your book. And the partner who's listening, really listen for the kinds of information, and is it about movement? Is it about some forces in motion? Are you ready? Go.
Pull the water back and how fast that's 8 hours. Fast, and you should stretch your back. And some have swimming.
Great.
And then my second chapter is going to be flip turns. So when you flip off the wall, you have to put your legs to get off the
Okay, so writers, scientists, sport players, athletes. Okay, great. So we've got a lot. I like how you're thinking about the different chapters, the different parts of your books. I think it's going to help you to organize what you're going to say and to also get a lot of information down. I heard some swimmers talk about how they're going to have maybe one chapter on the front crawl for swimming, and to think a little bit about how you have to use your arms to pull the water. And isn't water a little... It's like a little force in and of itself, right? So that'll be an interesting book. And then her second chapter will be about flip turns. I know. I think I might need to read that book so I learn myself how to do some flip turns in the water. So when you guys go off today for writing, we're going to get started with our science books, and we're going to be teaching people about the topics that we know a lot about. But we're not going to just teach them about the topic. We're also going to be teaching them about movement, about force and motion. And so any opportunity that we have to teach them about both things is going to make for some really powerful writing today. And you can do that by organizing the chapters. You can use your fingers to help you. You can write headings if that will help you. And then draw or write a couple of words of the things that you want to remember that go into that chapter, so that when it's time to like write for down your page and to start drafting, you can write long and really strong. You ready?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Go ahead, stand up, find a table, find a chair, and you guys can get started.